Hello everybody, Andy here, and I am cameraless today because I'm moving house and I've already set everything away. However, Kill Team gives us a balanced data slate, so I'm here, I'm talking to you live, we've got to get it done. Warhammer community has graced us with an article today. However, there's no video for it. There's no anything like that. So it is just Warcom talking to us. Whereas sometimes they give us like a little interview with our Lord and Savior, Elliot. But not today. To get to the balanced data slate, obviously when the article is up, you can do download balanced data slate. That takes you there. Or when the article is not up, you go to downloads, you go to Kill Team, you click clicky. We're doing the balanced data slate today. Lovely. So, when it comes to the balanced data slate, just throwing this out there, I had halfway recorded this video already, and I had tried to cross-reference and show you the rules that they had changed with how the rules were, but as you might be aware, Games Workshop has the genuinely worst, like the industry-leading worst rules distribution system in the game. And Wikipedia was being super fun and not loading. What a shock from that website. Don't get me wrong, WoW is great for 40k, but for Kill Team, not usable in my opinion. So I'm going to be showing it to you on this one, Battle Kit. There we go. I would highly recommend you use Battle Kit. It's good, it works good. Okay, right, moving on. The balanced data slate, for those of you unaware of what the balanced data slate is, I do want to quickly cover this. So, again, because GW has the worst rules system distribution system in the world, if you're looking at Waha or KT Dash or Battle Kit or whatever, you might see that you'll see people talking online saying that, oh, you get to take, for example, one extra operative is a very common buff that we get in this game. If you're thinking about, a bunch of the compendium teams, almost like all of the compendium teams, just straight up got +1 operative to their fire teams. And you might now read this after having looked at Battle Kit or Waha or whatever and say, oh, well, I get that. And because the balanced data slate clearly says +1 operative, I get an additional +1 operative, right? But no, the balanced data slate is a one-stop shop. It is assuming that you have read the core rulebook and then you go straight to the balanced data slate. However, if you are a sane person doing what normal people do, you will, of course, get your rules from a good place, not GW. And so often these sorts of things will have already shown already included the balanced data slate rules in what they are showing off. There you go. So if you're reading about the compendium Space Marines and they're talking about having 6 operatives and then you read the balanced data slate and it says +1 operative, it's not +1/+1. The digital rules in general have already included that change. Cool, right. Let's go through the balanced data slate. So, core rules, equipment, beta decima, all the same, no changes. Oh, sorry, I do want to point this out because it's not always the easiest to see. We are looking at the asterisks right at the top here. Asterisk bullet point is the new stuff, so we're not covering all the old stuff, obviously. Nothing for compendium. I'm shocked to hear that. Oh, sorry. Should I? No. Okay, I'm going to just go through the changes one by one, and then at the end I'm going to give my thoughts on what this balanced data slate should have been, and if it kind of lived up to that. But so that we're all on the same footing, let's just go through what was actually changed first. Nothing for all that stuff at the top. We then get Pathfinders. The recon drone. It's analyze unique action. You can reroll one of your attack dice instead of any or all. What did that used to be? Well, we can go over to this lovely data sheet here, Battle Kit, and we can find the recon drone. I do already know what this was. This obviously used to be you can reroll all. Now it's you can reroll one. Okay, there you go. I just wanted to show you the Battle Kit. Can show you that. Nice. So the recon drone, that is a huge change. Swapping from reroll any to reroll one is massive, absolutely massive. The recon drone basically, it was an easy no-brainer auto pick. I'm not saying you pick it in 100% of games, but you basically pick it in 100% of games. 96% of games. There you go. That's my actual number. 96% of games. And yeah, giving a team whose main, negative to their strength is that, yes, they've got great guns, but they're only hitting on 4s. That's a big deal. So the recon drone allowing you to re-roll all of that, really, really strong. This is a huge nerf just on its own. Cool. We then get the drone controller Pathfinder ability. So Pathfinder, sorry, has a drone scout ability, and it says in a battle that uses hazardous areas rules. And we stop reading there because that means that's a beta decima rule. No one plays beta decima, so we don't need to waste our brain power reading the rest of that. We then get the Recon Sweep Strategic Ploy. You cannot use this ploy during the first turning point. This makes total sense. It does seem like, I'm guessing here. For those of you that don't know, you could use the Recon Sweep Strat Ploy. The main reason it was used is to Alpha Strike. You could get a big beefy ion plasma grenade, whatever, into the enemy lines turn 1, and part of what made that so effective was this the Recon Sweep, because it was an extra dash basically, which got you moved to within 6 of the majority of the board. Yeah, there you go. This makes total sense. I suspect this is a little bit of GW bringing things in line with kind of for the next edition, so that there are no easy, super obvious alpha strikes. You can still alpha strike with Pathfinders. That's still totally valid, but you're just 3 inches less, so you will be able to get to slightly less of the board. Okay, easy. Good changes. Nice. Legionary. You can put all of the Marks of Chaos onto your roster. This is how Legionary should have released. Kill Team 21 has not used the roster correctly. The roster is a great thing, and it made total sense in Kill Team 2018. It was really good. However, Kill Team 21 is very, very clearly designed to allow you should just be able to take any operative you want. There shouldn't be a roster. It seems to be designed that way, and so having this really weird roster limitation for Legionary just never made any sense. This really isn't that big of a buff to Legionary. It's going to give you a few more options. But there you go. Cool. Good to see. This is how it should be. I suspect going forwards, we really shouldn't be seeing any. I hope that they rewrite how the roster works in the next edition. It should just be you can take any. The whole concept of a roster isn't required in how Kill Team is currently designed. So that's good. Cool. No changes for Phobos. Oh, Blooded have a change, sorry. Yes, so the traitor Ogrin now acts in the same way that Nightmare Hulks and the new Patriarch. The new Patriarch with the Brood Brothers operates. That is, it cannot take cover from light terrain or operatives with less than 15 wounds. Again, I feel like this might be GW bringing certain size models into line. I don't know if this is the nerf that Blooded need, but it's a big model, 40mm base, yeah, bring it in line. Why not? Makes sense. Cool. We then get Galapox infected, no changes. Okay then. Sure. We're bringing that up again at the end. Star Striders, Hunterclade, Wormblade, Void Dancers, all no changes. Warp Cover, no changes. Because people are still trying to remember the other 50 changes they had this edition. Cool. Season 2, Farstalker Kinband, no changes, but much the same as with Warp Cover. And apparently GW don't know what they're doing with Farstalkers, so there you go. In Session, no changes. Nice, good, as it should be. Breaches, nothing. Hyritex Circle. Oh, sorry, when I read this last time, I didn't actually see this bit at the top. Oh, is this new? Normally they just put new ones at the end. Let's read it. Let's try and remember. Reanimation Protocol's ability. Operatives are successfully reanimated on a 2+. They regain D3 plus 2 lost wounds. Oh, okay, so I'm assuming that Hyritex Circle used to be D3 plus 3, and they've actually changed this to D3 plus 2. If only there was a way we could find out. Oh, let me just go and get my rulebook, because that's how people use this game. No, we're going to go here. We're going to click Hyritex Circle. We're going to click on Racial. It's going to tell us. This is very small. I probably need to zoom in. I can't. On a 2-up, operative successfully reanimated 1d3 plus 3. It is now 1d3 plus 2. There you go. Cool. Interesting. Is that what Hyrotech Circle needed? Let's think about the breakpoints. Instead of, so we're going 2 plus 2, so we're 4 wounds instead of 5 default. But then we'll be plus, what do they get for living metal? Plus 2? Plus 2 wounds. So on average, you are now resurrecting at 6 wounds instead of 7. It puts you in one-shot range of a lot more melee models, but it's not really sure. Fine, cool. Let's move on. Kassakin. I will add that to my list of things to think about. We then get the Exaction Squad. Now, these guys have had 2 changes. One to Terminal Decree Strategic Ploy and one to Dispense Justice Strategic Ploy. Let's read the Terminal Decree Strategic Ploy first. Each time a friendly Exaction Squad operative makes a shooting attack against an enemy operative within 2 circle of it, or each time a friendly Exaction Squad gunner operative makes a shooting attack, regardless of distance. Now, I think what they've changed is they've made that gunner operative addition. Let's go and find out, though, shall we? So we want the Exaction Squad. What are we looking at? This is the Terminal Decree Strategic Ploy. So we go to Ploys over here. We go to Terminal Decree. So at the end of the turn, avoid each other. Yeah, okay, so they've just added the gunner thing. Good. I like that. That's actually a really nice change. So that's good stuff. Very nice. Good stuff. Cool. This hopefully means that people will take the gunner more often. We then get the Dispense Justice Strategic Ploy. You can reroll any or all of your attack dice results of 1 result instead, e.g. results of 2. And of course, then going back over to Battle Kit, we see that Dispense Justice used to be, well, I see, you don't, because I haven't put that on the screen very well. It used to be all results of a single number. It used to be that you could reroll 1 of your attack dice. Now it is you can reroll any or all of a single number, which is of course a nice big buff. Love it. We then get down to the Gallow Fall, and we've got big changes on the Hearthkin Salvagers and the Fellgor Ravagers, which is quite interesting, because if you look at Gallow Fall, we've had Fellgor that need nerf after nerf after nerf, and Salvagers that need buff after buff after buff. Quite interesting. If we look at, well, okay, no, commentary at the end. Sorry, I will just keep cracking on. So, Salvagers first. All operatives gain the following ability. Secure salvage. Each time a friendly Hearthkin Salvager operative fights in combat, if it's within circle of an objective marker in the resolve successful hit step of that combat, you can subtract 1 of the damage inflicted on it from one of your opponent's successful hits to a minimum of 3. I have a lot to say about that, but let's keep cracking on. Thane, Force Field. The first time an attack dice inflicts 4 or more damage on this operative during the battle, ignore that inflicted damage. These are... Okay, I will talk more on them later, but just very quickly, these are very, in my opinion, odd changes. I very much wonder how GW looked at Salvagers and said, we need these guys to be slightly more durable in melee when they're on an objective marker. That seems odd to me. Okay, cool. We then go to the Fellgor Ravagers. Also, those were like total, like they came out of nowhere. They're made out of whole cloth, if you will, so I don't need to reference that with Battle Kit at all. We then go to the Fellgor Ravagers. Fluxspray, Mangler, and Vandal operatives replace all instances of Relentless with Ceaseless. Now, when I first saw these off the top of my head, when I was thinking about the Fellgor Ravagers, I was thinking to myself, oh, these guys must be... I've scrolled too far. These guys must be the big hitters, and the way that they were effective is they were hitting on 4s. But if we go track one of them down, the Fluxspray, well, he's not a big hitter. Wait, was it the Fluxspray? Fluxspray, Mangler, Vandal. No, so the Fluxspray was hitting on 3s, and he had Relentless. The Mangler... Oh, okay, the Mangler was hitting on 4s and had Relentless. Okay. Alright. Weird. Okay. Also, this is going to be relevant for the next one. The Mangler has 11 wounds, as did the... Oh, the Fluxspray. No. The Gnarl Scar. Let's find the Gnarl Scar, who's also presumably going to have 11 wounds. If I could find them. I cannot. Here we go. 11 wounds. Cool. Alright, fine. Yeah, so this reduction of Relentless to Ceaseless is a really big hit. It's a really big hit when you're looking at the big hit of the Mangler there. You'll probably still take him. In reality, you'll probably still take him. However, he now becomes very unreliable. Like, his negative was really that you would be, you're hitting on 4s. Your 4 dice hitting on 4s. You're, natively, you're missing 2. You're only hitting twice. You can be blocked once, right? However, you had Relentless, so actually, even still, you'd be hitting at least 3 times. You could even fish for crits. Like, Relentless is very, very strong. Well, it's full rerolls, of course it is. Now, maybe you want a warrior. That's the level that the Mangler has gone to. People smarter than I will be able to look at that and actually decide. But, I'm a scrub, so I'd still take the Mangler. But people that just love Fellgor but really want to perform with them might even drop him out, We then get the Gnarlscar on the Mangler, subtract 1 from wound characteristic. This was always a bit of an odd one, so every now and again in Kill Team, you get this really weird, it almost looks like a typo. Some random operative has 1 extra wound. And I think Fellgor were probably the worst of the bunch when it came to, hey, why does this guy have +1 wound and this guy doesn't? Because they're all just dudes that fight you in melee. That's it, right? They're not the most, like none of them looked any tougher than the others, shall we put it that way. So it was always a bit odd that some of them had 11 wounds instead of 10. This, I think, is actually a good change for the team because it brings them in line and therefore a little bit easier, a little bit less mental load. Certainly, like the 3 times I've played Fellgor, I forgot that some of my operatives had 11 wounds, so... When they get the Reckless Determination strategic ploy, each time a shooting attack is made against a friendly Fellgor or Ravager operative that is not ready and is not in cover. Really? Okay, if you say so, mate. Let's go to ploys. Which one are we looking at? Sorry. Reckless Determination. So this used to be, I think, just a tool, but so operative that is not ready. Okay, so now you need to be not ready and you need to be in cover. Okay. I guess. Alright, fine. Anyway, moving on. Chaos Cult, no changes. Inquisitorial Agent, no changes. Finally, we have the Scout Squad. Big changes. Well, biggish. So, 1 additional operative, can't be a sergeant. And then Hunter and Warrior operatives, add 1 to both damage characteristics of Combat Blade. Luckily, I've already checked this one. So, Hunter and Warrior, the Combat Blade is a 3-5 damage weapon. This puts it to a 4-6 damage weapon. That is pretty darn strong for melee, if I'm honest. So, this is the Hunter 5 attacks. I really feel like the Hunter's going to be 5 attacks, and that's why you take him. Let's have a look, shall we? Scout Squad. Oh, is it? Oh, it's because I've already got it up here. Cool. We go to the Hunter. He is... Oh, no, okay, all right. So the Combat Blade is the same across all of them. So he is also 3 attacks. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. 4-6 damage, but he will go. He's got the grapple assault, so he will go lethal 3 up in on the charge. Nice, basically. So +1 operative makes total sense if you're ever looking at buffing a team. +1 operative is the go-to, and certainly, Scouts were in it was a weird choice. They were a 9 model team, but they were 10 in the box. Much like they did with Farstalker Kinband. They said, oh, hey, you guys need a buff, don't you? All right, here's another operative. Cool, makes sense. We then get +1 to melee for Hunters and Warriors. Pretty good, if I'm honest. So, let's have a think. Scouts are the worst... No, okay, all right. We're at the end. Let's have a quick think. I think this data slate was missing a lot of what I expected. I was expecting okay, let me go through them. Sorry. Let me go through them. Right. I'm going to go through it one by one. Come on. Obviously, Compendium, we were expecting huge buffs. We thought this is the one. GW's finally going to bring them into line. Let's do it. Shockingly, that didn't occur. Commandos, they probably needed another slight nerf. I was definitely expecting that. They're still really top tier. Just go and look at everybody's tier list. They still put Commandos in S tier. Pathfinders needed the nerf. They got the nerf. Cool. I'm not familiar enough with them to say whether that's what they needed or not, that particular nerf. So good that they were touched. Man, they've had so many changes now. That's fine. That's fine. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Phobos, yeah, fine. Blooded had a nerf. They probably, yeah, okay, fine. Right. I'm actually quite shocked Gelapox haven't been touched. They're obviously a touch overtuned at the moment. Star Striders, fine. They can stay there. They're very strong, but it's okay. Boy Dancer Troop obviously just got the fly nerf. We haven't seen what has happened to them yet. Warp Coven, probably should have added another bullet point to Warp Coven just for meme's sake, because they have so many. You could probably add another one on there for fun. Farstalker Kimban still need a buff. They are still considered by just about everybody to be the worst specialist team, even after all of these buffs. So this is the real meme team. The Farstalker Kimban, worst team in the game. Hell yeah. Intercession Squad, they are not performing very well these days. However, good. Because they are the natural first team. They are the team where everybody has the rules for free from Warcom, although let's be honest, we're not going to use that. We're going to use the good stuff, Battlekit, Warhammer, etc. So you don't actually want Intercession to be the absolute top tier, totally dominating team, because they're already really, really good at a certain skill level. If you're a new player, they're perfect. So that's good. Breachers, still strong. I think that's totally fine. They weren't touched. Hyrotech Circle need a nerf. This little D3+2, I don't know what they were thinking there. I assume they thought, hey, the Hyrotech Circle coming back with an average of 6 wounds, totally fine, very balanced. An average of 7 wounds, OP broken. So weird. I think they still don't have Hyrotech Circle right. I think Hyrotech Circle are still probably top tier. Sorry, I mean like they're S or A+. Easy. Hyrotech Circle are really strong. Kassakin, nerf them. Take away elite points. They should be hitting on 5s. Everybody knows it. Exaction Squad, they needed a buff. They got a buff. Cool. I'm not really going to comment on if that's the right buff for them. I don't know. There you go. They seem like good buffs. We shall see. And then we get the two interesting ones that had the most touches in this one, the Hearthkin and the Fellgor. Right. Hearthkin. These are weird, right? So, okay, look. Because this is relevant to Fellgor, let's quickly touch on this. Anytime you're able to just straight up ignore damage, you change so much about the decisions that the enemy needs to make when attacking you. And so the Thane getting a force field, aka a free first time just to scratch, is actually incredibly strong. This makes the Thane really tough. So the Hearthkin salvages are 3-up armor saves. That means you're probably not getting shot by las guns, right? They're not even going to bother taking that shot at you. So you're always taking an AP damage whenever you're hit. So you're always going to be triggering that force field because you're going to be over 4 damage. It's just a very odd thing. But it's fine. If you just want to straight up give someone a field, not field of pain, sorry. If you just want to straight up give someone just a scratch, fine. I don't know why that was the choice, but it's the choice. We then go to secure salvage. Why? So, what does this do? This means that when you're on an objective marker, you are slightly more durable in melee, right? Yeah. So why? What data did GW see that made them think this is the problem? So let's think about it. GW is saying that Hearthkin salvagers cannot stand on points. They're not durable enough to do that. So they become better in melee. I don't fully understand how they came to that conclusion. I understand the concept. Dwarves, they're good at shooting, and they're tough, and they're slow. Those are their 3 things. We can't make them faster, okay? Because they're slow. That's their thing. All right. They're durable. Well, they've got 3-up armor saves. Cool. Durability, done. They've got good shooting. They do have good shooting. Good, yes. However, the 3-up armor save has no effect in melee. Therefore, they cannot stand on objectives because all the enemy has to do is run up, and tap them in melee and they fold over because they don't have durability in melee. Therefore, every hit is one less. Okay, there you go. I guess that's the answer. I mean, it makes sense. I don't think that's what they needed, if I'm honest, but it's what they got. Cool. Fellgor Ravager changes. So again, you know, durability is such a big thing. In a game of Kill Team, lethality is super high. And they gave Fellgor Ravager's Frenzy, which means you die, but then you don't die. And that's just inherently so strong. And they're struggling to bring them in line because they're still really good. Swapping Relentless for Ceaseless is big. I think the -1 wounds probably should just been how they released, to be honest. That's a nothing to me. Because 10 wounds is perfect. Like, 10 wounds is is the best profile out there. 10 models, 10 wounds, amazing. So, fine. You didn't need the 11 wounds. We then get the nerf to the Reckless Determination. This is probably a good idea. So, I imagine this was being used in conjunction with just the Frenzy ability and such, so that when you were being very, very reckless, which, you know, Reckless Determination, I guess that makes sense. But you were playing so recklessly that you weren't caring about movement. And really, in Kill Team, you do want to force people to place correctly. Like, that's what the game's about, correct positioning. So, saying, no, you actually do need to be in cover, cool. I like it. Are these the changes they needed? Relentless to Ceaseless is the big one here. I think that's a good change. Cool. And then also nerfing their durability a bit is also good because, again, this is a team that has outrageous durability thanks to Frenzy. No change to Chaos Cult seems odd. They're not in favor at the moment, so I guess I can see why they haven't been changed, but this is still a strong team. Inquisitorial Agents, I don't think GW knows what to do with them, if I'm honest. I think they messed up with Inquisitorial Agents. They kind of thought, oh yeah, let's have a team that really uses that flexibility in list building and roster stuff. Oh, I forgot that we have to balance everything around that now. So I think they've given up on Inquisitors. Cool. And then we have the Scouts, of course. +1 operative. Yep. +1 damage. This, I already said a little bit at the end. I'm going to add another little something here right at the end. So, the additional operative, a slight problem here is that a lot of people will have seen that their team, their active team, is 9 models and they get 10 in the box. And so what are you going to do with that 10th model? Build another warrior? Lol, no. You're going to build an alternative loadout for your sergeant. Well, whoops, can't use him now. Proxy City, I guess, baby. Yeah, go buy a new scout on eBay or something. Hunter and warrior changes are really good, actually. I would almost say to the point now, I think before you always wanted to go 3 shotguns on your warriors. Now, 6 damage on the crit in melee is pretty solid. I think there's a real argument to take warriors with combat blades into certain matchups now, instead of just always defaulting to your shotgun. You're still going to be taking the shotgun into horde teams, but perhaps now you would consider combat blade into more elite teams or some such. Cool. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody. I did not expect this to drop now. Sorry for not showing you my beautiful face. You will have to struggle through. My patrons, however, still get that. In fact, I'm doing a hobby video for them in just a moment. I'm going to be doing some painting, except what I'm painting is the wall of my flat that I'm moving out of, because that's the real hobby we all want. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay gangster. Bye.